Hello, welcome to Orthotrac's Patient Flow. We're going to begin this module today first by opening up the schedule book, making sure today's date is selected, and then clicking on Zoom. From the schedule book, we can check to make sure that all of our patients have been scheduled and schedule any additional patients by clicking on the appointment they need to fill, selecting their name in the patient drop-down list, and when clicking OK, adding a procedure code to their appointment to give the detail of exactly what's being done during that appointment. When we click OK to both the procedure code box and the appointment is then saved and we can close out of our schedule book. Now we are ready to open up Patient Flow allows us to see a list of the patients that are on the schedule today and all of the locations in the office that they can be moved into. This also allows the patients to check in at the front desk. When a patient comes up to the front desk, they will see this check-in screen where they can click to log in, click on the letters of their last name. This can also be used with a touch screen monitor in the office. And then it will list the patient's appointment, which they OK, and then they take a seat and wait for the back to call them back. Now that Sarah Fox has checked in from the front desk, the line with her name on it turns blue and her location is changed from not here to lobby. We can also move patients into the in-deck if we have a separate toothbrush area, or we can move them directly into the operatory. With settings in Patient Flow, we can set that so that will automatically load a patient's treatment card, the chairside treatment card, and we're going to speak more about the treatment card in the next video. All of the colors and lines here can be changed in Patient Flow, so let's cover Patient. From the maintenance menu on the main menu, we'll go down to Patient Flow Options. From the first tab here in Patient Flow Options, we have our different options as far as the view on the screen. So for staff, we can either choose for text-based, which will have no photo along the side, or we can choose staff photographic, which will let us have a photograph of the patient's frontal smiling picture next to their name. We also have the locations. These are the locations that will show up on any particular computer. So if we are up at the in the back and we don't want to see patients that are checking out, we can turn those off. We can also change the colors that are assigned to each of those locations in the office with the drop down next to each of those. The destinations, if we are at a computer where we would never move someone to check out, we could take the checkout option off. So each of these can be changed by the area in the office. We can also choose which offices we see on any machine if we don't want to see all of our offices if we're seeing patients at the same time in each office. Then in the general options, we can change our times. We can also change the checkout and the charting load options. If we don't want patients to automatically go into checkout when we move them there, then we can turn those options off or automatically load the treatment card. The check-in messages can be used for patients that are behind in their payments. Then we also have the grid setup. Now the grid setup allows you to decide what you want to see on the patient flow grid. So if you only have a single doctor, you may turn doctor off because it would be the same doctor all the way down the list. If you don't track which assistant is working on the patient, you may turn assistant off. You can also move around the locations of each of your grid items. So you can click on the column and drag that to the location that you would prefer to move those around. Now on the light bar options, we have the ability to take a look at the different doctors in the office and assign them a color for the call to the chair. So each one of these will allow us to call different doctors to the chair, or we can either remove them or delete them. Now we can also change the names of our chairs in this list, or change the number of chairs that are available on the light bar. So if we are only using a 3 or 4 column practice, we can simply change those light bar options here in Patient Flow. The welcome screen for the patient welcome check-in can also be set here, so we can change our quote of the day and any check-in messages there. Now we can move patients through Patient Flow simply by clicking on their name and moving them to the location we desire. Now this does open up our change patient location box. From here we can select other locations besides just the location we intended, so we can check the in-deck, the operatory, the out-deck from this new location area. We can also change the assistant or the chair from this box. So I believe we're going to the lobby with this patient. Now when we move a patient into the operatory, once a patient is in the operatory, we can click on their name in the chair and call different doctors to the chair. This will give a different light bar screen, and the first patient first patient to be called for the doctor is set to a bright green and flash. When we move other patients into the operatory, we get the check-in messages. If we try to move them into the same chair, it will let us know that there's already a patient in that chair, so we can change the chair. And of course we've set the automatic load for the treatment card, so that will come up for us as well. And we'll go over treatment card in the next video. We can also click on the patient in the chair, mark the doctor as here, cancel the call for the doctor. We can even move patients into the next location, so we can move them into the out deck. The out deck is nice if we are tracking chair time, so that when we do finally move them into checkout, our operatory time has ended with the out deck time. So our checkout will load when we move a patient into the checkout option, and from here we can OK any messages, add any procedure codes that may not have been added already from the treatment card. We can take payments. The easiest way to move through the screen is using the enter key. So the enter key on the keyboard will allow us to enter down to payments and then enter up to the post button. So we can take different payment amounts. If it will ask us if we've posted certain payments in a matter of time, if we really want to take another payment. So once we've entered in those amounts, we can click the post button, which is second to last, and then close. We'll close our financial screen of checkout, and then it will bring up the patient's scheduling appointment screen so that we can schedule their next appointment. We can see all their current appointments and their new appointments, any recalls. So our treatment plan will give us information about when the next appointment should be scheduled. From here we can click on the weeks that should be scheduled. If we do select weeks that are not in the correct range, using our treatment plan will let us know that it is off target and when the target date is for each of those particular appointments. So moving back to that day and selecting the office that we want to be seen at. From here, with our treatment plan, we can simply paste all of our procedure codes and information onto the appointment. So from here we can close. It will ask us to print an appointment ticket. We can say yes or no for the appointment ticket and choose our printer. We can even choose a type of checkout message from there in the middle, and whether or not they'll get a school excuse or a work excuse. And that is the end of checkout. Thank you for covering patient flow with me. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email or give me a call.